Angela here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another like dedicated sit down video. This is Sit Down Sunday. These videos go up on Sunday, and each Sunday I choose like a dedicated topic. It could pretty much be about anything because this is a all-encompassing page. So if you're new here, you're just stopping by, you see me on your like feed, make sure you take a look around. If it's your vibe, go ahead and subscribe and like and comment and all of that. If you are returning, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all of the things. This video, or the video this week, is going to be a Q&A. A couple weeks ago, I did a Q&A on Instagram with the intention of answering the questions here on YouTube. I answered some questions on Instagram, which I'll answer here too, and then there were specific questions that I chose to keep just for Instagram. So I have my phone in front of me so I can like look at the questions. So if I'm looking down or if I'm referring to my phone a lot, that is what is happening. I'm not going in any particular order of like importance. I'm literally just going through my stories to see which ones I answered and that I want to answer here, and I'll just do it that way. Cool. Also, I look real like comfy chic today. I literally just came from my bar class. I do bar once a week. It's like a supplemental workout in my routine, and I literally hopped out of my bar class, which is at 10:30 this morning, and it's, oh yeah, okay, wait, I'm tripping. I like thought back to the opening of the video where I was like, it's Wind Down Sunday. It's Saturday today when I'm filming this, but this goes up on Sunday, so that's still appropriate. Anyway, back to what I was saying. My class is at 10:30 on Saturday mornings. And so I literally went to class. Well, I got up this morning at like 8 a.m., did some cleaning, went to class at 10:30, came home immediately, took a shower, and decided to film this video before it's 1:21, and I'm going to see one of them days. Baby, one thing about me, I'm gonna go to a movie at 3 o'clock, so I'm going to record this. I shouldn't be taking this time giving this explanation. I should have just got into the questions, but you know, I like to yap. If you like yappers, this is going to be the channel for you. Anyway, let's jump into some of the questions. Okay, so the first question that I'm going to answer is, how do you stay committed to your workout schedule? If you follow me on Instagram or even on TikTok, you know, I post about working out often, but if you follow me on Instagram, I have a personal page and both a page that goes along with this. Most of you all follow me on my Sounds About Angela's page, which I suggest you do. Like, if you find my personal page, you can follow there, but it's not gonna be that interesting to you. I mean, you may see in a little bit more into like my real personality, like that my friends see. On that side, I post a lot of the same stuff, but the captions are definitely different and more like around the way filet Angela on my personal Instagram. Anyway, I say all of that to say, I pretty much post something workout related almost every day. And so someone wants to know, how do I stay committed to my workout schedule? And working out for me is just a part of my daily routine. It's just like brushing my teeth and washing my ass, like every single day, right? I have probably been working out consistently between 4 and 6 days a week for, I want to say like 13, 14 years now. I started like pretty consistently right after undergrad. I graduated in 2007, 2017, 18, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4. So if I say, yeah, about 13 years now. Pretty consistently, I started pretty consistently right after I graduated undergrad, and it has just always been a part of my routine. The key for me was finding workouts that I enjoy. I definitely struggled in the beginning. I definitely went through a bunch of phases of unhealthily trying to achieve, you know, a certain weight or a certain body type. I did juice cleanses. I did FemFin, and I might be aging myself. Y'all know Auntie is almost 41. I'll be 41 March 19th. And I don't know the like proper term for FemFin, but FemFin was our generation's Ozempic, okay? And you could go to, like, they had like little pseudo doctor offices popped up on every corner of people just selling FemFin out of the doctor's office. So you would literally go in, they would weigh you, and then you can buy like a thing of like 20 FemFin or like 40 FemFin or like 60 FemFin, and you would lose weight so quick. Now you would gain that shit right back, but it would drop weight off of you like really quick. And whenever it was like homecoming coming up or spring break coming up or something coming up, girl, we would go down to the corner store and get some fits in. So it was, look, I have not always been as approached working out and fitness and health and wellness the most healthily, right? But eventually, I would say maybe like 2 or 3 years in, I found my groove, and it's been pretty consistent from there. I've always been a low weight, high rep person, so I probably still to this day don't squat or lift or squat more than like 60 pounds, lift more than, if I'm doing like upper body, more than like, if I'm using like free weights, I don't use more than 20 pounds. If I'm doing like a machine or something, I probably don't go over like 60, right? And so I just sort of found one routine that gives me my desired body shape, right? I found that low weight, higher reps, cardio, like running. I love to run. If you know me, you know that I'm a runner. Running, things like that. Those types of workouts gives me the like long, and it plays to my like natural body shape really well. I'm tall, I'm 5'8" and some change. And I'm all legs. I appear slimmer than I really am because I got booty. I don't have any hips. I have deep hip dips, so I look like I look as narrow as that hallway from the front. And so I like the illusion of like long and lean, even though I'm not long and lean, and I got a little toot toot, beep beep on the back of my butt and my leg. On my back, that is my butt, and my legs are pretty thick and juicy, and always have been. So, you know, for me, it was really staying like consistent at trying to find the things that work for me. And then it eventually becoming a part of my routine. Like if I don't do it, my day, like it's just a part of the sequence of my day. And I really do enjoy going. It's my time of the day where it's uninterrupted. I put my music on, you know, I do my workouts, I talk to myself, I stop, I read things, I look at things. It's just really my uninterrupted part of the day, which is also why I do it so early in the morning, because it's not as many people, it's quiet for some time, or you know, a long time, or sometimes all the time. I have the space to myself to move and, you know, move about it the way that I want to. And also I just find that doing all of those like things at the top of my day really sets the tone for the rest of the day, right? Even though I feel like after my morning routine, my day goes to shit, and I need to work on that. But for the most part, you know, having a really structured morning really helps with the rest of my day. So that is how I stay committed to my workout schedule. This is gonna be a long ass video if I talk that much for every question, but you know what? That's okay. So this next question is, how do you make time for work and all of the platforms that you post to? So as I mentioned in the previous post or question, I'm up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I get up at 4 a.m. I'm at the gym by 5 a.m. I work out about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm back upstairs at 6:15. I make a workout, a smoothie, or not a smoothie, a protein shake. I'm in the shower. I'm done with my shower about 6:35. Any content, short form, that I need to film, I'm filming between the time of like 6:30 and 8 o'clock when I log into work, right? And that's plenty of time. You know, I typically know what I want to talk about if I'm going to do some short form video, especially because my content has really started to lean more towards what's the word that I'm looking for? Commentary. That's the word that I'm looking for. So I do a lot of like commentary style content, and so it's really easy to do this, just prop my phone up and talk. So I'll make 2-3 videos about stuff that I want to talk about, or if I like did a vlog the day before, I'll edit that in the morning, or have edited that at night, and that'll go up in the morning. So I'm typically like a day ahead, or you know, I've done everything at the top of the morning. And so when I'm posting, I usually post it around 8 o'clock, then noon, then again at 3, then again at 6, if I have that many videos to post. Most of them are already pre-recorded. The only thing that's not pre-recorded is if I'm like responding to a comment on a post, which can throw the whole schedule off. Because let's say I get up or let's say I record 3 videos on 3 different topics, which is what I like try to do, but then one video takes off and I get a bunch of comments, I can literally spend one whole day on one topic, and then I just have all of these videos from the day before recorded, and so then in that instance I'm a day ahead, right? And typically when it comes to like responding to comments and stuff, I do that on my lunch. So on lunch I'll sit down, go through the comments, I'm like, oh, I want to respond to that, I want to respond to that. I'll make a bunch of responses on my lunch, and then I'll just post them throughout the day or the next day. So I'm always utilizing the time before work, my free time essentially, and that's how I do it. And then videos like these, I record on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. I am recording, I try to batch record. I would have loved to do a couple videos today because who texted me in the middle of my video? I would have loved to do a couple videos today, but I am going to the movies, so that's not happening. But tomorrow I'm going to sit down and record the Sunday chat sit down video for next Sunday tomorrow. So I'm always trying to be ahead, like work in advance. So that's how I personally do it. This next question says, have you ever had a friend to start acting weird towards you, and if so, how did you handle it? Actually, hold on, I need something to go along with this. 1 second. How much time y'all got for me to answer this question? Yes, I answered this question on Instagram. I recently had a friend break up. Got a little coconut sea salt chocolate here to go along with a little glass of Cabernet. This is Freak Show. It's a Freak Show Cabernet. They have other wines too. This is my favorite. Like, last night was Friday. I ran down and grabbed a bottle of wine, and I fell asleep before I really I cracked it open and then didn't end up drinking any because I fell asleep. But this is I need to grab a bottle of wine to wind down. It used to be what I felt like was like an inexpensive wine. I swear I used to pay like $19 or $21.99. It's $25.99 now, which I know you're like $5 is not that big of a difference, but yes it is. Yes it is. But if you like a cab and you're looking for something like, you know, just to, if you're inviting friends over for like a little like wind down on a Friday night, you know, nothing too extravagant, I'd buy this, like, you know what I'm saying, just to like have in the house to drink. So yes, I recently had a friendship breakup. It's coming up on a year, and it happened around my birthday last year. So yeah, we're coming up on a year. Previous to that, I haven't really experienced a lot of like friendship breakups. One thing to note about me is I have what I think people would consider an abnormal amount of like best friends. I have who I consider best friends from different like time frames in my life. I have 2 best friends that have been my best friends since 5th grade. We met when I transferred to the elementary school that they already went to. We've been best friends ever since. I have best friends from high school. I have best friends from college, and I have really close friends from like my adulthood. And I think out of my entire 41 years, almost 41 years left, I'll be 41 in March. I've only had 2 really big conflicts with people that I consider best or close friends. And both of them have reconciled themselves. Now, are we as close as we were? No. But were we able to reconcile and... Okay, lady, don't do that. Don't do that. Were we able to reconcile and, you know, get to a place where we still communicate, we still, you know, encourage each other, uplift each other? Yes, we do, right? So the friendship breakup that I had this year, she's done. She's done. Because I don't like the way the situation was handled on her end. And I think the question said, like, how do I respond to people being weird to me? I just stopped talking to them. Like, I literally just, you know, stopped talking to her. Her perception of it may be that she stopped talking to me, but you can't stop talking to me when I go in my views, because I make content. So I look at who is viewing my stuff, right? And for a long time after we had stopped talking, I'll go, she's still looking at all my stuff. Oh, absolutely not. Hang up on you, not in the mood. I unfollowed me for her because no, you didn't have the courtesy to talk to me, because obviously I did something to upset her. I know what the issue is. At the time that she started acting weird, I did not know what the issue is, right? And so I started like ruminating in my head and, you know, conversations with other friends, all that type of stuff. I figured out what her issue was. That could have been solved with a simple conversation. I'm not above, you know, reproach. Like, I'm not above critique. If I say something, I can be a very matter-of-fact person. I can be a very much, I said what I said, I mean what I said as person, right? So it would not shock me, you know what I'm saying? And I could be very selfish, not in a bad way, but I'm the only person that I have to worry about, right? And so that's how I live my life. If I want to go to the movies, I'm gonna go to the movies. If I want to go eat, I'm gonna go eat. I've had friends say, Angela, no, like, you don't even consider, you know, inviting other people, blah 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 blah, which I'm like, you know what, actually, yeah. Whereas whenever I'm doing something, whenever I'm going somewhere, I always check in and see if you want to, you know, go and everything. I had one of my closest friends, we've been friends since high school, right? Since freshman year of high school. She lives here in Chicago. She's one of my closest friends. She said that to me, like, what, mid last year? Like, there's never an invite, but if I got something going on, I'm always, even if you can't go, making sure that I invite you. And I'm like, you know what, actually, I am terrible at that. I will work on that, right? I don't have an issue with my friends coming to me and say, you said this, you did this, I don't like it. Now, right, if it's not my intention, I am going to say that's not my intention, you know, and I'll do better. But also, I can't, like, I'm not gonna be walking on tiptoes around you, right? And I feel like that was the issue with this girl, where it was like, first of all, she was rude as fuck. Like, let's just, I'm gonna keep it a bang with you. We met during the pandemic, and I don't think if I would have met her outside of that, like, unprecedented time, like, once I got to know her and her personality, Angela pre-pandemic would have been like, oh, I don't like her, right? But for some reason, I kept overlooking little, like, character flaws and, you know, behaviors. I was like, I don't, you know, she ain't my type of bitch, right? So it was like one of those situations where it was like, as long as she keep that shit over there. I mean, and I'm talking about just like abrasive, rude for no reason, catch an attitude, one of those type of people that, where it's like, if it's not her way, then it's dumb, and she's going to let you know that her way is the right way, or you're a fucking idiot, like that type of stuff. But it never directly happened to me. I just saw her do it to other people, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And if it was necessary for me to say, hey, you know, that wasn't right, then I would do it. But this time she tried to pull that shit on me, essentially, is what it happens. But I think she knew that I'm not the type of, like, you can't approach me like that, right? And I think if she would have, I feel like she knew if she would have approached me with the issue that she had, it wouldn't have been just no me apologizing, because I would have said, I'm sorry that what I said, you know, came off that way. It was not my intention. It doesn't matter what my intention was. You took offense to it. I apologize. Howsoever, this is the second time where you have taken offense to something that had absolutely nothing to do with you specifically that I have said. And I don't understand why it is. Like, I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. One time, like I said, if you follow me on my personal Instagram, you know, some of my like real person, I could be ignorant. I'm an ignorant person. Like, it is what it is. So, you know, I post a lot of like memes and tweets and, you know, all that type of stuff. Not particularly about anybody. I just maybe thought it was funny or something like that. I've always posted that way, bitch. I've been posting like that since I knew you. So she was dating a guy, she was going through something with the guy or whatever, and I posted something, and I guess the shoe fit. So then she sends me a message like, are you talking about me? I feel like you're talking about me. I'm like, girl, why the fuck would I be posting about you? I don't think about you and your nigga. And if I had something to say about you and him, I would have said something to you when you talk. We talked about why would I, girl, excuse me? I was offended that she asked, but I just was like, my bad. Like, I wasn't talking about you, but like, that ain't cool. Like, that's whack as fuck. Don't ever come to me like, while I'm talking, why would I don't do that. Like, why would I be talking about you? Like, are you crazy? And that was that, right? So this was pretty much, it was the same type of thing where I said something and I was speaking in general and she took it personally, right? because the shoe fit, of course. And she decided that she was upset about that and wanted to go and try to recruit our other mutual friends and tell them that I was talking shit about all of them, which I wasn't. You just took offense to what I said. That was not about you directly. It was my thought process in general. And if the shoe fit, I don't know what to tell you. So she went and tried to like recruit other people, like, oh, Angela was talking shit about us, she said this about us, and she refused to have a conversation. Like, I haven't talked to that girl since. This literally happened like 2 weeks before my birthday last year. She was supposed to go on my birthday trip with me. She stopped answering my phone calls, and then sent a message through one of our mutual friends that she's not gonna make the birthday trip, and I haven't talked to her since. So the moral of the story is that bitch is lurking from other pages. She will never ever have any more access to me, because we could have just had a conversation. I can't guarantee you it would have been an easy conversation, because I would have said, this is the second time that you have taken something that I said offensively when I'm not even fucking thinking about you. And I cannot be friends with people where I can't even open my mouth and say something because you're so sensitive about the shit that's going on in your life, right? That ain't like, I can't do that, right? So all that said, yes girl, I done had somebody start acting weird towards me, and now that bitch is on the outside of the club and can't get in and never will be able to get in again. That's the answer to that question. Another question I got was, how did you become a routinist, and how do you deal with boredom or burnout? So I always ooh, my little leave out looking crazy, sorry y'all. So I often refer to myself as a routinist, like online, meaning like I'm just a very routine person. And that's not a deep meaning other than I like to stick to a routine, and I'm pretty serious about my routine. And for me, like I said, when I was answering about like my workout and just like maintaining my schedule, it's really about setting my day up for success. I don't operate well in chaos, and so I try to, at least if it got to be chaotic, like organize it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like routines help me with that. And so my most strict routine is my morning routine, which includes my workout, right? And my nighttime routine is starting to get there, where I have to start my day at the same time, doing the same thing, pretty much in the same like way. And like I said, it just makes me personally feel like I have more control of my day. There's like no deep meaning to it. It does, I wouldn't necessarily say I get bored or burnt out, but if I need to shift something in my routine, I'll just shift something in my routine. I literally just change the days of what areas of my body I work out, just because I needed to, one, shake my body up a little bit, but also, you know, give my routine a little zhuzh. It'll be something as small as, when I get up at 4 a.m, I usually hop out the bed and like do my devotional, and then hop out the bed immediately, make up the bed, wash the dishes, and then go out. I mean, it's something as small as, now I'll lay in the bed, give myself a little more time to do my devotional, and then I'll get ready, go to the gym, and then I come back up, make up my bed, clean any residual dishes, and then go on about my morning. So just little small changes like that for me really help, even down to like changing what I'm eating for breakfast, or how I'm getting like my post-workout meal every once in a while. So that's how I add small changes. And then also I this may sound crazy, but I also build in those like sporadic days, right? So like, for instance, Sundays I do get up at early in the morning and do my Stairmaster workout, just because we only have one Stairmaster in the building. So I like to get down there early, because I like to do 60 minutes, and I don't want to take 60 minutes in the middle of the day when there's a million people and they're trying to use the Stairmaster. But after that, my Sundays are open call. I do whatever I want to do in whatever order I want to do it. If I want to lay in the bed all day on Sunday, I lay in the bed all day on Sunday. I don't have a schedule. I don't have a routine after my workout. It's just my free day. Saturdays are also the same, pretty much. Like, I get up when my body get up. I'll set an alarm for 8 a.m. just in case my body don't get up, but I'm usually up at like 7 on Saturday, and I bump around and I might watch some YouTube, or I might do whatever. So I sort of build in those like days where I can just do what I want, and it's usually the weekends. Friday night, baby, that is my bumming at night. So I just sort of build in the like spontaneity, if that makes sense. This question I answered on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, my God, today. But I also want to answer it here on TikTok, YouTube. I also want to answer it on YouTube as well. Yes, YouTube. My God. I aspire to be like you in my 40s. Do you have any career tips? I'm going to read to you all what I responded to this, and then I'll expound on it. I said, thank you, but can I be honest? I'm not the best person to ask for career advice, because the thing I care least about at this age is my career. I stopped caring about anything other than making the most money as an individual contributor as I can. So if that means bouncing around every few years for a pay increase, so be it. I don't aspire to be anything more than senior, like a senior employee. I don't want to manage people. I don't dream to retire from a company after a long time. I don't want to do, I just want to do my job and make my money and go home. I'm also not anti-job. So this isn't a entrepreneurship, what's in this one? Manifesto. I don't want to do that either. Okay, that is still hard work. I actually like my job and what I do. I just have no desire to be some big boss babe. My job is what I have to do, and I'll probably choose to do it for the rest of my life or retirement. Oh, I said it here. Or just until I retire for my own security. But all of my care and attention and goals are going to the things that I want to do. And my job funds that for the time being, right? And so it has been a long time since I have had the desire to like grow in a career or like build, advance or anything like that. I probably stopped giving a damn right around my early 30s, right? When I was young, I always envisioned myself being this person that like climbed a corporate ladder and had a briefcase and managed people and developed people. And I work in instructional design. I started off in like people development, right? So learning and development and all of that. And so I thought that I wanted to climb the corporate ladder, maybe lead a people team or something like that. Y'all, by the time I was 30, I was like, I don't want to do none of this. I don't want to do none of this. How do I make the most amount of money doing the least amount of work? How do I become an individual contributor, right? Once I figured out that you can do roles where you are an individual contributor, the last 3 roles that I have worked in, I have been an individual contributor, meaning I was 1 or 2 people on the team. I answered to the director or above, and I pretty much worked on projects where I managed the learning, the scoping, and all that stuff for that project. I worked with the project managers. I worked with the stakeholders or, leaders that the project is for. And I do my work and I go about my business. And that is the only thing that I desire to do. And I have moved around. My last 3 jobs, I moved around after about 3 years or so, because in order to make more money, you gotta promote, and so there isn't any like lateral, hasn't been any like movement that I could do within the organizations to make a little more money, so I've had to leave. And we are now at that point again. Actually, I am leaving because I am moving to DC, which I'm going to not talk about that in this video, because next week's video is going to be all about my move to DC this year. And if I could take my job with me, I would, because I'm on the public service loan forgiveness program. I have a few more years left. Shit, I would have been under a few years if I don't want to talk about it. But it satisfies the criteria for me to continue to get my public service loan forgiveness. And I like my job, and it's like I said, it's individual control. I make decent money. I don't make a lot of money, and I have been like putting feelers out there for jobs and stuff like that ahead of the move, and I'm like, I might be moving because I need that money, Nate. I need that money. So yeah, I don't have a desire to, you know what I'm saying, have this great, big, successful, magnificent career. And so I often turn down like requests to be like an official mentor. Like, I've talked to young ladies, like I've given young women my phone number off of Instagram and TikTok, and I've like literally talked to them on the phone. Baby, you want some mentorship about life and decision making and all that stuff, I'm happy to do that. But when it comes to your career, you got to get somebody else, because I am the least career driven, focused person ever. Like I said, all of my goals and metrics that I want to meet is all here, you know, on the things that I want to do, YouTube and social media. And she's working on her podcast again. There, like, y'all ask me all the time about podcasts. I'm not going to do it by myself. It's going to be with another person. It's going to be with a man. So it's going to be like me and one of my college homeboys. We originally had a podcast called Cocktails and Cognac and Cocktails. Look, I don't even know the name of the damn, y'all know, if you follow me, you know this right here be malfunctioning. But that's coming soon. So like, that is where all of my focus for like my goals and what I really want to like do in the future to wrap this second half of my life up, all of that is focused in on that. So you want career advice? Get somebody else to do it, honey. I'm not the best person for that. Let's do one or two more because I'm running out of time, and each of these questions are taking like 10 minutes a piece. Like, maybe we'll do a part 2. If y'all want to hear more answers to questions, let me know in the comments and I'll put together a part 2. I done lost the question, y'all. I done lost the question. Oh, how did I develop my style? Right, so if you found me on TikTok or Instagram recently, then like I said, a lot of my content has shifted, you know, more commentary style, and that's just because that seems to be, people for whatever reason love to hear what I gotta say, and it's always been like that. And it's taken me so long to like lean into the fact that people love hearing, you know, my POV, because a lot of the times it's a little different. I'm a great storyteller, I'm a great communicator, I'm a fun time, I have a big personality, and that's just what people are drawn to BB. And so like, I'm just leaning into that. I just also happen to be a fly ass bitch on a cold ass, a hot ass, a fly ass on every day. I just happen to be a cold ass bitch on a cold ass day. Do you hear me? And so I used to do a lot of content focused around like my personal style. I used to do a lot of hauls, a lot of OOTDs. I haven't been doing a lot of that here, but if you watch my vlogs and stuff, you get a glimpse of like my personal style. Here's the thing, I'm around the way filet. I'm a hood baby. I'm a girl from the projects. We didn't have a lot of money, and so I just have this innate ability to make it do what it do, right? And so you had to get creative. You had to, you know, make one pair of shorts look different for an entire summer. You had to make one pair of shoes work for every outfit for a whole school year, right? And so growing up in a childhood where I had to get creative with a very small amount of things, that's just sort of how I like honed in on, you know, my personal style. Also, I had fly ass aunties. Like, my brother's sisters were so fly, and so I spent a lot of my childhood watching them go out in the early 90s. They were like in their early 20s in the early 90s. Like, I would literally sit Indian style on the floor and watch my aunties like get dressed for the club, do their hair, their outfits and shit like that. And those are like core memories for me. Like, that's how I thought I was going to be when I was an adult or whatever. And so we didn't do a lot. I didn't do a lot of I watched a lot of TV and stuff like that, but I would say most of my like thought process around personal style and stuff like that came from the girls in my hood, in the projects, my aunties and stuff like that. And again, just having to be creative. I've gone through so many iterations of my personal style, but I think the core has always been there. When I was in high school, I had a very mature style. So like, Once I got to high school, like everybody was still wearing Jordans and shit. I was literally wearing like blazers and penny loafers and fucking, you know what I'm saying? I would go out with my friends and they would have on Jordans and jeans, and I would have on like a pencil skirt and some fucking heels. Like, like I have a turtleneck and a skirt. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've just always been like very assured of who I was. And so I would say that I have always been the type of person that like communicated how I wanted to be perceived and treated through my personal style. When I was in high school, I thought I was fucking grown. So like, I had a very mature personality, I had a very mature lifestyle, you know, and so that sort of was communicated through what I wore. When I went to college, I wanted to be a little more lighthearted and fun and all of that type of stuff. So it got real fun. You know, I wore the Manonos and like, you know, the little Steve Madden Manolo boots, Bakers. Mine came from Bakers because Steve Madden was like still too expensive. So I played around with that type of stuff, hair colors, like all of that type of, I mean, when I say hair colors, I mean like a brownish blonde, not like blue, green, red, right? And then, you know, eventually I rounded my way back to where I am today. So there's always been like this common thread of how do I make what I'm putting on my body communicate to people how I want to be perceived, you know, how I like who I am. Like I've always approached getting dressed that way. And again, I've had different iterations of who I thought I was or who I wanted to be, so my style looked a little different in certain parts in my life. But I think I've come back around to like the true essence of like my personal style, and that's mainly because I know exactly who the fuck I am now. I know exactly who I am, and I think my personal style conveys that perfectly, right? Like I think the way that I get up and get dressed conveys who I am perfectly, which is just like, you know, laid back but kind of cool. Like she laid back, she cool. I don't really know, like you know, like I think I like that girl, but I don't know, she kind of scary, but she like laid back, but she also hella cool. And then I open my mouth and I'm playful and fun and funny, and so I think there are a lot of like playful elements in my personal style, right? I play around with silhouettes, I love an ugly shoe and stuff like that. But I'm also very like classic and laid back in that, you know, on an everyday basis, my personal style is pretty like minimal, and then you'll have a pop of something, right? I call it like elevated basic, right? And so yeah, I for me it's really about what do I want my personal style. Like when I show up in a room full of people that don't know me, right, that have never seen me, when I show up on the For You page of people that have never seen me before, what do I want my presentation to say about me before I open my mouth? I want it to reflect what is going to come out of my mouth. I want it to reflect how people are going to experience me. And so that's how I approach it, which is why you don't see me with like shit that don't fit my personality. You will never see me with, let me never say never. Let me never say never, because there was a time when I would be like, I don't wear fake nails and I don't wear that, girl. I got my little natural nails with some gel polish now, but baby, I'll be busting them Gel X nails down. So I'm never gonna say never. I'm just going to say that I work really hard, right? Even though my style is really laid back and chill, there's still a lot of thought that goes into, is this representing me in the way that I want to be represented? So that's how I discovered my personal style, I believe. This light is going in and out and it's dropping me nuts. Okay, the last question we'll do today is, do you have any advice for people that are looking to establish a really good routine? My advice is going to be, and I say this for anything, you know, starting a new weight loss journey or any type of new journey, saving money, stuff like that, is do not jump head first into completely changing your normal routine, right? People typically fail at cleaning up their diet, starting a workout routine, saving money, starting routines in general, because they go from A to Z immediately, right? So I think a good approach is to take my Saturday Sunday approach to starting a routine, whereas you're like, okay, I want to start this routine, but I don't want to be too hardcore because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself and then, you know, quit 2 weeks in. So instead of being like me and be like, I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing this and this and this and this and this in this order. Say, okay, I want to be up by 6 a.m. I want to give myself a couple hours before I have to log into work or be at work or however that is in the morning. I want to have a slower, more control, more intentional morning, right? So just say I have 2 hours before I need to start work to do this, and this, right? And do it in whatever order that feels good to you, but just know that you have 2 hours, right? So I think that's a good way to approach it. Like, okay, I'm gonna get up 2 hours before I need to be at work. I would like to have all of these things, whether it's a workout, whatever, done in the 2 hours. Whichever order feels good to you, get it done. The goal is to just get all of that stuff done before you are, you know, logging into work. So then after work, you can, you know, use that time for something else. So I like to say start with a time block as opposed to like a bulleted like steps, and I think that works. That's the approach as it relates to like working out that I would give my best friend. She would always be like, oh, I'm so demotivated to like work out. And so what we started with for her was to be like, okay, you know that you want to get back into a good workout routine, you're having a hard time sticking to it. How about this? You know that you want to do your workout in the morning. So instead of saying, I'm about to go in the gym, this is gonna be my new routine, I'm gonna lift this, I'm gonna do that. How about you say, okay, I just know I wanna work out in the morning. I am going to get up at 6:30 and I am going to spend the next 3 weeks just getting up at 6:30 and maybe just walking, right? Just walking for 30 minutes. I am getting my body and my brain used to the routine of getting up at 6:30 in the morning and doing something. And then once you do that with ease, then you incorporate the workout in, right? So, you know, time block it out, right? So you're looking for it really doesn't apply, but the analogy that I'll use is like, people are always like, how do you do 60 minutes on a Stairmaster? That's crazy, right? My goal is duration, right? Not speed, not, you know what I'm saying, how many steps I got, not any of that. I just want to go for 60 minutes, right? And so I focus on getting there for 60 minutes. I break it up into time blocks. I do 20-minute time blocks. Between each time block, I give myself 55 seconds of rest. And so I just break it down and make it make sense to get to the goal. And eventually I'll just breeze through that shit without having to break it down into like 20-minute segments. I won't even think about it. I'll get on at minute 0 and look up and it'll be 60 minutes and that's it. So that is my advice on that. And hopefully that made, I hope that made sense, right? I hope so, because that's all I got for you. Anyway, that's going to conclude the video. It's 2:07. My movie starts at 3. I need to leave here in about 25 minutes. And so I'm gonna let y'all go. But I thank y'all so much for spending this Saturday afternoon, Sunday, your time, or whenever you're watching this, chat with me. And listening to me yap about answering some questions. If you have more questions that you want me to answer, if this wasn't long enough for you, or you just want to hear me yap some more, let me know in the comments. If you have questions, I'll be happy to put together a part 2 and maybe answer some more questions in a few weeks. But in the meantime, I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much for watching and supporting. And again, if you are new, look around and stick around. Go ahead, hit that like, comment, subscribe, all of that type of stuff. Make sure you're following me on all of my other socials. They're listed in the description. And I will talk to y'all in the next video. Bye.